I'm just excited because, through all of this chaotic, um, I'm not even sure what to say. I've never seen anything like this before. But I guarantee, guys, we are going to make it through this together. And I'm going to be here to help you, support you throughout the entire way. And so today we're going to be talking about some few tips. I'm just going to close this window here. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's get started. So welcome everybody. My name is Marlene Spence. I am the founder of Cornerstone Family Services, and I'm overwhelmed because I've got a lot of stuff to do. And how do I keep my kids entertained? For here in Ontario, it was supposed to be just March break, which I think we were looking forward to. And what's happened now is a lot of these places that we were going to take our kids to are now closed. And so we are quarantined at home with our kids. And now the big question is, how do I get through this? Well, let me tell you, we are going to get through this, and we're going to get through this together. So welcome. My name is Marlene Spence. I am the founder of Cornerstone Family Services, where we empower parents to raise rich kids. And you'll see I'm wearing my Raising Rich Kids t-shirt. And what does that stand for? So rich is responsible, independent, confident, and happy. And so our mission is to raise responsible, independent, confident, and happy kids, even throughout the next few weeks, without us losing our minds. So I'm also creator of Reward'em, the first visual schedule that shows diverse characters, is modern and chic, and is restickable. So you can restick it on any surface. And I'll kind of talk a lot about that later as well. I've been in the field of helping families and children with special needs, with learning disabilities, with ADHD, for 20 years now. And I've had the privilege to also work with one of the largest school boards in Canada, where I work with some of the most complex kids with the most complex needs. And I help teaching teams strategize and kind of understand the behavior and strategize and come up with ways that we can help and intervene to help that student. I work with families with Cornerstone Family Services. I work with families who are feeling frustrated and overwhelmed, maybe with just some of the things that the challenges that their children may be experiencing. And so we navigate and we dig deep to find out what truly is going on so that I could provide you with some practical strategies and solutions. So we are going to get started. I have some great stuff today. I am going to make these sessions kind of short and sweet. And this is what we're going to start with today. So first, we're going to start with schedules. Okay, so many people, if you've been following me for a very long time, you know that I love a schedule. Okay, my whole life is usually all about schedules. Okay, and a lot of people will say, is it really necessary? I don't really like schedules. Is it, how rigid does it need to be? Like, I hate kind of having to, go by my day by the minute. And so, hey, Camise. And so I will say, when the question is, do I really need a schedule? It is, yes, you do. But, and I kind of said this on my Instagram at Reward'em as well, your schedules don't always have to be rigid, right? It doesn't have to be like half an hour blocks where you're detailing everything like that. If that works for you, absolutely do it. But what's really important is that even unstructured time, and you don't have to structure everything, but even your unstructured time has to be scheduled and structured, if that makes sense. Let me explain. So free time. If you're giving your kids free time, of course, they're going to have free time. But when in the day are they going to get free time? Free time cannot be from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to bed. That's where you're going to feel the stress and the chaos, okay? Because they just don't know how to regulate, and things just get chaotic. So scheduling your free time. Okay, so we're going to have free time between 10 and 12 before lunch, okay? That's going to be the free time where you guys get to organize. And then after that, again, we're going to have free time again between, let's say, 5 and 6, where they get to, do whatever they want throughout. Okay, that's structured. That's structuring unstructured time. The other times you might have, okay, so this is when we're going to do our math. This is when we're going to do, have our family time. This is when we're going to do our reading. And those times are structured, okay? And so again, if you're better in working in big blocks of time, then do that, right? It doesn't have to be like 9:30 you're doing this, 10 o'clock you're doing this, 10:30 you're doing this. If you want to work in bigger chunks of time, absolutely do that. But a schedule is important. So I've also posted on my Instagram a lot of schedules that I found from some of the people that I follow that have been fantastic. But those who know as well, I also have my own schedule. And if you want a copy of mine, just send me a comment below. Or go follow me on my Instagram at Reward'em or Cornerstone FS. And DM me and say, hey, Marlene, I would like a copy of all these goodie freebies, and I will send it to you. So here we have the family schedule. Okay, this is just an example of the family schedule. And what I have here is wake up, you have breakfast, outdoor walks or activities, okay? And so physical activities. So, and I'm gonna go into tomorrow kind of more detail of what some of these, Camise said, I'd like a copy of the free ones, please. Absolutely, Camise. Although Camise, I think you do have a lot of them. I think you have them. But send me a DM and tell me what you don't have, and I'll make sure I give it to you. Okay. So outdoor activities. So our outdoor activity, we are kind of allowed to go outdoors and go for walks right now. But if that's ever limited, right? There are a lot of kids shows. And again, so tomorrow I'm going to go into details as to what specifically some of these activities could be. But there are a lot of great videos and stuff that we can tune into to do exercises and physical things at home as well. Play centers. This is something I'm going to go into more detail tomorrow as well. Play centers. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much these are have saved my life. It allows me to get so much work done, and it allows I can do centers for at least 2-hour blocks and keep my kids occupied without arguing, without wanting to always ask me anything. So play centers is really important, okay? And that's basically making different areas in your house, whether it could be tables or different spots or different rooms, and just putting activities there, and having your kids kind of go through those activities. So again, I'll go into more details about that. Lunch and quiet time. So quiet time, I think, is so important. Install a quiet time in your day, okay? So if you have little ones who are still napping, this is when they do their nap. If you have older ones, my kids are 8 and 11, and they still have quiet time. Quiet time is usually, when they are in their rooms, they're by themselves, because I've tried, they're like, oh, can we do quiet time together? That never works out for me. Their quiet time together never ends up being quiet. So, so quiet time. And this is a time where they're reading. They could be just playing a game quietly. If they're into puzzles or Sudoku or something, I try to keep electronics out of it as much as possible. But there has been times that, say, my daughter likes to do editing and stuff like that. And so I have let her do editing during that quiet time as well, kind of on her own. But this is something, and we do this ahead of time. So they're not saying, what do I do during this time? These are things we pre-plan. We do this beforehand. And they write down a list of things that they could do during quiet time. This is when they can even use their Legos and they can build. It's just something they are doing on their own. Camille says, I need a copy of this schedule. Awesome. No problem. I will hand it to you. So after lunchtime is a good time for media time. Okay. And this is, they can pull out all the screens and do whatever they want to at that time. During that time, again, a great opportunity for you to get some work done. And then dinner, chores, and playtime. And then bath time and story time. And then once they're off to bed, you get a little bit more time for yourself and some more time to plan for the next day. So one of the other things that I created a while ago was this no screen time until. So an issue for me in my house was always that my kids literally, like the moment they opened up their eyes in the morning, their face was planted into a screen. There were times where it was like they wouldn't even have eaten breakfast, and they were like already consumed hours into screen time, and I didn't like that. So I started to implement this, and so these are tasks that they need to be able to complete before they can hit a screen. So this, I'm not really going heavy into the schedule because this is our normal March break. And so I want them to be able to have some downtime, because I know if I don't give them that, I am going to get some resistance in the next 2 weeks. So, okay. And so this week, this is probably really the only thing that I'm implementing. And so during this, they have to when they wake up, they have to eat breakfast, personal hygiene, which I had to put on there because, yeah, it wasn't happening. They have to tidy up their room. Okay. And then I have writing, math, and reading. And these are very short. They don't need me for it. Very short activities. So write in your journal. For my son, who's 8, sometimes I would kind of pre-write some journal prompts. So what I mean by that is I would write a sentence and then he would have to kind of continue it on in a paragraph. So if I was an animal, I would want to be, and then he would continue writing on that, and because blah, blah, blah. Another example could be if I was to, if I got a pet, this is what I would name it, or this is what my pet would be. If I can go anywhere in the world, I would want to go, and with like who, right? So prompting so they kind of know what to write about. Or they can just write about things like, what have you had, what have you done that has been so fun by far? What was your most memorable moment of the year? Math, so this is sometimes just a word problem. Sometimes I'll just Google different math problems, word problems, very short, very easy. Again, shouldn't take any more than like 10 minutes or so to complete. And then I have reading for 20 minutes. They have a chore. So again, using their reward schedules. And I don't know if I have one to show you offhand right now. Hold on, let me check. I don't. So I don't have my sample. I don't have my sample right now, but I will show you. Okay, so these are the visual schedules. My sample of the visual schedule. Okay, and so here, this is also my kids' chore list. So they have some chores on there. And so they know what chore that they're going to be doing for the day. So those chores are available. So they have to complete their chore, and it could just be, you know, sweeping the kitchen or cleaning the counter, unpacking the dishwasher, loading the dishwasher. It's very simple things. And then the last one is make and build. So build something with your Legos, build something, draw something. On my cornerstone, I also gave a link to one of the drawing apps, not an app, it's a drawing YouTube channel, Art Hub for Kids, I think it's what it's called. And it teaches you how to draw like all sorts of things, which is amazing. So even if they do, although that is with the screen, but sometimes I'm okay if it's with the screen, if it's with purpose. And so they can draw, build, make something, create something, and then they can have access to screen time. So this is what I said is what I'm implementing this week. And along with this, we do like some family thing together as well. So they have a little bit of screen time. We'll have lunch and stuff, and then usually after lunch we'll try to do either play a game together. We have some like family craft stuff that we're going to do together, and some baking and stuff together. So stay tuned again on my Instagram, and I'll keep you in the loop with all of that as well. And the last thing I want to talk about very quickly is Raising Rich Kid Book Challenge. Okay, so this was inspired by a really good friend, Raquel, who is a teacher. And, while we were talking about our summer session, Summer Sanity, how to get through the summer, we talked about this book challenge. And during the summer, I implemented it. And this is the first time. I can't even remember how many minutes, but my son won the book challenge twice. And he read, I think, like, was it like 380 minutes of reading time? He had 380 minutes that he had read, which is like pigs are flying, because that never happens. So how does it work? So every member, so again, this is free. I can send you the download for this. So every family member gets one of these templates. And it's the date. You're going to write the date, the title of the book, the number of minutes read, and then there's the parents' initials for the parents to sign off on it. So every time your child reads a book, and you can do this in week chunks, okay? So 7 days. So in 7 days, after the 7th day, everyone will calculate the number of minutes read. And then whoever has the most minutes read in your family will get a prize. Now, before you even start, determine what that prize could be. No problem, Camille. Determine what the prize should be ahead of time. So it could be like a grand family thing, or it could be individual. So your child can write down like the 3 things, obviously with your approval, that they could do. So it could even be like sometimes for my family, we do things like if you get your prize, then you don't have to do this. You can choose 3 days of the week where this is out the window, and you can just kind of do whatever you want. So it could even just be fun things like that. It could be, you're going to get the movie choices on Netflix. So we're sitting down to watch a movie, you get the choice. It's going to be your choice for 2 days. Just fun things like that. It doesn't always have to be, you have to go buy something. It doesn't always have to be something big and grand. But even like could be private, like spending one-on-one time. Okay, so if you win, my daughter really loves things like this. If she wins, we'll sit in your room, we'll listen to music, and we'll like take out all the nail polish, and I'll do your nails, or I'll give you a little petty. Things like that. So and again, considering that we can't really leave our house and do all these grand things, it allows us to be really creative. So book challenge.